Channel. In today's video we are going to study about the metals and non-metals. SSLC classiನ 3ನೇ chapter gist of the lesson we are going to study here. So elements are classified broadly into two categories on the basis of properties, that is metals and non-metals. Here we are given some of the examples of metals and non-metals, like metals are like iron, zinc, copper, aluminium, and non-metals like chlorine, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. So how we are going to classify a given element as a metal or a non-metal based on some of the physical and chemical properties. Okay. So apart from metals and non-metals, there are some elements which show properties of both metals and non-metals. Those are called as metalloids. For example, germanium, silicon, arsenic, and so on. So starting with a comparison of physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So the physical property, first one is metals are always solid at room temperature except mercury and gallium. These will be liquid at room temperature. Non-metals are generally exist as solids and gases except bromine. Second point is melting point and boiling point. So these metals have high melting point and boiling point because they are usually solids at room temperature. We have seen in the first one, except gallium and cesium. Coming to the non-metals, they have low melting point and low boiling point except diamond and graphite. So density, the third property is density. As these metals have high boiling point and high melting point, and also these are solids, density of the metals is always high. Generally it is high, and non-metals is generally low. So malleability and ductility. Malleability means the metals, these can be drawn in the form of thin wires and thin sheets. So their property is called as malleability and ductility. Metals are always malleable and ductile, and non-metals, these are neither malleable nor ductile. Electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. These metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, while the non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity, except graphite. Next property is electrical and luster. Luster means shiny surface. These metals are having the shiny luster surface, while non-metals do not have shiny surface or the shiny luster except iodine. Seventh property is sonorous sound. Metals always give sonorous sound when struck. Non-metals do not give sonorous sound when they are struck. Hardness. Metals are generally hard except sodium and potassium. Non-metals are solid non-metals. These are generally soft except diamond. So in the exam, the questions can be asked as which is the liquid non-metal, or which one is the liquid metal, or which non-metal is not having low melting point and low boiling point. Or you can also write the differences or similarities between metals and non-metals. Or it can also be asked what are the physical properties of metals and physical properties of non-metals. So if you study this table completely, memorize the table completely, you can answer different types of questions of 1 mark, either 2 or 3 marks.
Thank you all for watching the video. In tomorrow's continued part, we will study more topics related to the metals and non-metals of 10th standard. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and like the video.